the last 2 days. I spent I was gone for 14 hours on Monday to go to Bristow, and then April
Yeah,
had
because we
12 and a
talked
half.
about that the last week.
Yeah.
About I said Bristol would have been better than Bristow, but nevertheless,
Yeah.
actually, one of the ladies at the bank last week, we were talking about the races, and her boyfriend, him and his son are leaving tomorrow to go to Bristol to the races this coming
Oh, I'll be
weekend.
damned. Yeah.
That's one of them that's the top of my list. I want to go to that one. Although I
It,
want to go to the one in the fall. I want to go to the night race.
yeah. This wouldn't be a bad weekend to be out of Oklahoma and Kansas from the way I'm seeing the weather.
Yeah,
So,
I this weekend it can do it all weekend long. Next weekend I want it to be nice.
yeah. Yeah.
I've been pretty fortunate in all the races I've been to anywhere. One of them at Kansas City, and I don't think it might have been last spring, it might have been a year before that. We ended up they had an hour and a half delay or whatever. It rained, you know, uh, but it wasn't bad. And I've got a
Yeah.
rain slicker in my packed in my race gear. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, and it's kind of fun to watch those trucks with the jet dryers just go around and dry the track anyway.
Yeah. Every time I'm shoveling snow, I think about them trucks with the jet dryers.
They have done some way, and they've got some that have like vacuums on them. They've got some that, I mean, it's just crazy some of the equipment they've got on those trucks
Yeah.
and those
It's
jet dryers are pretty loud.
yeah. That that'd be the only drawback to well, that and cost would be the drawback of like melting parking lots
Yeah,
and blowing them
yeah,
dry.
yeah. But it's one of those deals where, yeah, it's probably a little harder to control than a snow plow when you're plowing
Yeah.
snow. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Um, well, I started to listen to Josh's podcast, but I only got about a minute in,
yeah,
and then I had
yeah,
to
I
run.
haven't. I'll probably do that at lunchtime today, and I am gonna have to give him a rough time. He's missed a couple of weeks here, so
Yeah. I uh I finished up with my, I got my Bible in a year, and then I was going to start his, and I just ran out of time before I had to jump in here.
yeah,
So,
I get that.
yeah.
Time, spending it wisely. It is a tricky thing to. I actually journaled about that a little bit this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's that whole thing where every decision we make, has a consequence. And it started me being behind schedule this morning started last night.
Yeah.
And we had a meeting that I had to go to at Arc City that um ended up, you know, it got over at 8:30. No, it got over about 8, a little after maybe. But then it's about an hour drive home from Arc City to my house. Well, so I was there a little after 9. And I've got this routine now where I'm trying to watch a Christmas movie every day to get it off my just gonna
Yeah.
watch something anyway. So it's like, okay, I can, it's 9 o'clock. If I watch a Christmas movie in an hour and a half or so, it'll be pushing it because I would really rather go to bed at 10:30 just so I can stay on schedule in the morning and get my 7.5 hours of sleep. Well, then it was about 11 when I got to bed. So then I have a choice. Do I sleep 7.5 hours to 6:30,
And be 30
or
minutes behind. Yeah.
do I go to 7 hours? And so I left the alarm at 6 o'clock and then snoozed it twice.
Yep.
So then that meant it ended up being 6:20 when I got up. And so then consequently, then there was a few additional things I needed to do at home before I left this morning. So that made me 15 minutes behind schedule to meet with Emily at 9. Not that that's a big deal, but it's just, it's just
It just
Um,
continues to,
yeah, I
it
mean, it just,
ripples.
right,
It ripples
it
out.
does. And so, but to that point of all of those were decisions I made. Now it's just, I've got to, I need to get the Sunday school post finished, and so she can get it ready and publish, so we can publish it. I need to be working on the savings transfer introduction, which is next week, and I've still
Yeah.
got work to do to get it ready to go. Are you going to plan on going to that, by the way?
I think I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she just told me the other day we didn't have anybody signed up yet. And
I haven't signed up yet, but
well, and that's typical. I told her, I said, people aren't going to sign up until the last minute anyway. I'm going to
yeah,
work on
never
it.
do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, it's that what we were just talking about. It's that spending of time. It is that, okay, I need to sign up for that. I need to do this. I need to do this. Which one is the hottest thing right now?
Yeah.
And, I've just, all those things that happen. And in back to going to the races next weekend, I've got to get with my brother-in-law. He takes care of, even though he's not going, he does all this traveling, and he takes care of setting up reservations for me at a hotel. I mean, he just,
Oh,
I
good.
mean, he's got apps and stuff for that. Well, last night we were talking, and he had checked in Kansas City, and a room for the night was $250.
Hmm.
He checked in Topeka, and we could get one for $150. So what I've got to do is go, okay, is it worth $100 to drive to Topeka and back? Got to kind of wrap my head around. I think that's probably what we'll do.
Yeah.
I just need to kind of get a bearing on from the racetrack, because that airport, the hotel that he usually uses, he uses some that he's got reward programs and stuff with, so he kind of goes to these all the time, and it's by the airport. And he said it's not time you drive to the to that area by the Kansas City airport, it won't be much farther, probably to Topeka, and Topeka will be pretty much interstate all the way from the
Yeah.
racetrack. So that's probably what we'll do. But these are decisions. All of this is to say, okay, where does that fall in the scale of okay, well, I will do that, and it's on my list of things to do today, so I don't forget. But I need to give him the go ahead one way or the other. And so those kinds of things, those are just, we deal with them every day, and
Yeah. It's
hopefully we get better at it as we go.
hopefully. I tell you, I have got a almost like a hangover the from Monday. I just can't get back. It's like I
So
depleted
what
myself
happened Monday?
the track meet in the
Oh, it
heat
was
and
Monday.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
maybe you went out and partied or something.
No, no, no. No, it's like I just can't get back on
Well,
track.
okay. This just brings up another really good point. This is one of the things that I shouldn't say I don't like vacations, but this is this is a price for vacations. If
Right.
every day that you take off, it will take you 3 days to get back on track,
Right.
because you've lost a day. So you're going to spend that day, and then you'll spend 2 days trying to play catch up on stuff.
Hmm.
So it's the same thing. If you're gone for a week, it's going to take you 3 weeks to get back to where you were before you left.
Right. Right.
And
Um,
so that's what you're dealing with now is,
and Rick Scott always said that you don't actually get rest on a vacation unless you're gone for 5 days because it takes 2 days to change your mindset off
right.
of work. You get one day and then you've got 2 more days. You've got to get back into that mindset. It takes you 2 days and then you're behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And that's not to say that, we don't need that time, you
yeah,
know, to do those things. I mean, whether it's taking Sunday off or whatever it is, it's just like, I mean, we need that time to step away sometimes, but if it can be scheduled in such a way that it's like, okay, so
we've been trying to observe a Sabbath.
yeah,
April does.
yeah,
I've been trying. I usually do pretty good till after dinner. And then after dinner, I start kind of pulling stuff out and
Yeah.
looking at stuff. And
Well, and one of the things that I have done, and that's what I was going to say. So Sunday was Easter. Our daughter came down from Wichita and went to mom's where we had lunch, bunch of family there after church. And then because she was down from Wichita, she stopped by our house on the way back and we watched a couple of movies while she was there.
yeah,
Well, my normal Sunday routine would be come home after we had lunch at mom's on Sunday afternoon, come home and sit down and kind of go through an hour of wrapping my head around that shifting of gears from, okay, last week's over. What do I need to do this coming week? Just some of those kinds of routine things. Because that's where I think a lot of this time off it's a changing of the routine. And I think that's part of what messes us up. So I've gotten to where I do that intentionally, but there again, I could work
yeah,
all afternoon if I got into the zone. And so I have to step away. And then that's where I plug in watching races on the calendar, plug in
yeah.
watching movies on the calendar. And, you know, um,
This is a hard time of year for me because I don't watch races. I'll watch them occasionally, but
right.
and I don't really care about basketball till the playoffs or baseball till the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got football season.
But you need to that point, you need to find something, whatever it is, whether it's,
Yeah, we did a little fishing last year. That wasn't too
well, I
bad.
mean, that could be it. It could be some fishing like that. It could be, you know, um, watching movies. It could be, finding something that you enjoy doing that you then intentionally step away, just, it's not that our
You,
minds don't always be going, oh, I got to don't forget this. This
hmm
is where I bring up my OneNote then, and I've got my
yeah,
tablet right there beside me, and I'm like, make a note. Okay, now back to what I was doing.
you can put it away. Yeah, if you can make a note, you can put it away.
Yeah,
So that's hard.
it
Um,
is.
hmm. Well, I got some sort of pain, just dull pain in the
A-
back of my neck, bottom of
April
my
probably
head.
smacked you in the head last night.
Oh, she's
It's like,
wanted to smack me so many times. If
probably deservedly.
probably, but
Yeah,
uh, if she could get away with smacking me without me smacking her back, she would
yeah,
daily,
yeah.
probably.
She just
So
needs to find a way to mentally smack you.
yeah, oh, she's been doing that for years.
So,
Emotional smacking. Oh,
so other than the track meet disruption and um trying to get back on track, what else you got going on that
uh, Tracy used to work for Kenny Day.
McNutt,
Yeah,
his son-in-law?
was it? Was that his son-in-law? No, this guy's like Kenny's age, or almost. He's probably your age.
No, okay, no. So it's Kenny McNutt that is Kenny
Right,
Day's
right.
son-in-law
Yeah,
that
yeah.
does
He's a nice guy.
construction. Tracy. The name sounds familiar, and I probably do, but what about Tracy?
Oh, he does a lot of stuff for Bob Tyler, and
Okay,
we're supposed to be doing that fireplace up
right,
there. Um, I had it all set up with Bob for us to get up there and dig footings and
right,
get everything going, and then Monday, Bob calls and says, don't send guys up here today because we've got Tracy's working on this and everything. And then yesterday, Bob called, says, you need to come up here because Tracy needs to go over what we're doing. And Tracy has totally changed everything, convinced Bob this is the way it needs to go. And it's weird that it's all changed to get Tracy work. And in the meantime, I'm already scheduled out for deliveries because we had this lined up.
Right.
And so like I told Bob, I was like, Bob, if you don't want these bricks sitting in your yard for a month till this gets screwed around, we need to put them over here at your farm. So we had to move the brick were delivered over to the farm instead of to his house because Bob doesn't like stuff in front of his house.
And I don't
And
blame
this
you.
guy is just wearing me thin because it keeps changing to his way,
This
his benefit.
Tracy.
He
Yeah.
has talked Bob into uh putting coin corner details all the way up this stack, even though I've told the both of them that when we cut it down on width, the coin no longer works. We cannot separate the two. We don't have. We're doing a brick and two bats wide. We can't do a coin. We can't do two separate coins here. And oh, it's driving me nuts. But do I want to wade in and get in the middle of Tracy when Tracy has Bob's ear 40 hours a week and I've got it about 4?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're all trying to take care of Bob, and I feel like Tracy's using Bob as a pawn here.
Well, and he could be, but part of it too is a lot of times everybody just has a different perspective on what it is that this ought to be, how it ought to be done. Um, talking to, well, talking to Paul Maple's mother-in-law yesterday. She's kind of, because Paul's gone this week, she's kind of ramrodding the painting process because, which she helps him on these rental properties and stuff a lot. And so it was her granddaughter that was doing the painting and she was helping. Well, then they
Yeah.
didn't get it done over the weekend. And so Paul texted me Monday and said, they've got all the painting done, they're going to get done. Go ahead and finish painting. There was a couple of closets and the kitchen that still need to be painted. Okay. So give me a number on that or whatever, Well, then it wasn't too long and I got a text back that said, never mind, we've got the painting taken care of, but go ahead, you'll need to do, you know, um, the base, there's some trim that's going to need to be painted and so on, which there again, part of that I had included in the original price. And so I've got to go through and figure all that, separate it out, what's what. So I was over there yesterday doing a little bit of looking. We weren't going to do any trimming in the downstairs because that was all, we didn't do anything in the living room areas and so on. Oh, to that point, I don't know what we're going to do on that door. I know you haven't come back up and done the flashing yet.
I have not yet. No, I
Well,
haven't had a
and part of the
chance.
reason I bring this up is because they're laying this laminated floor in there. And yesterday, it was hanging up. They couldn't get it closed with that sweep on the door. You remember, I think you and I were talking maybe. Anyway, Paul took the sweep off the bottom. So the door would close and could be locked. Well, now when you open it, it's up a half an inch at the wall. But when you get out, it's
It drags.
rubbing on the
Drags the
floor.
laminate. Yeah.
So we're not sure what we're going to do on it. We may end up pulling the whole door out and resetting it, hanging it over. Yeah, and see,
Yeah.
but yet the wall, it's running good in parallel with it. So either the wall's leaning,
I imagine the wall is leaning.
right? And so then I don't want to straighten the door up and have the wall and the door, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but Paul Homan pulled the inside trim off just to see. He said they've got a couple 3 blocks in there where the hinges are is all that the door's hung on. So I said,
So it
well,
could be whacking out.
it could be. We're going to have to figure it out, but I just bring that up just as because
Yeah.
but
I
where I was,
got to get up there. I've had guys missing. I've had a guy
well,
quit.
at this
I'm
point, you
so
can't even
far
get to,
behind.
we've got the porch full of crap. So
Yeah.
no rush on that. And But what I was going with this is they're putting this laminated floor in there. There was quarter round all the way around in like the living room, and it's like we need to pull that up. And this guy he's got doing the flooring is not a professional flooring installer, and he hadn't planned on doing any trim. So I told Paul, I said, well, we've got to, because there was some quarter round that was, you guys had put a piece on the west wall
Yeah, we had one
where
little
the
gap we
gap
couldn't get
was,
closed.
right?
Yeah.
And we pulled that up so he can run his laminated floor over to the base. And then we're going to put, and probably what we're going to end up doing is just getting pre-finished quarter round and putting everywhere in there
Yeah.
in all of those rooms where the laminate is. Now, in the laundry room, we'll just set the base on top of the laminated floor.
Yeah,
But
if there's no base. Yeah, you could just
right, because we pulled it off to do that subfloor in that laundry room. So anyway, it's just those kind of things where I was talking to Ann. I said, they're going to carpet upstairs in those 3 bedrooms. I said, it's got quarter round. Do you want us to pull it off? She was talking to the floor guy, carpet guy yesterday. And he said, he said, we can take it to the quarter round or we can take it to the base, whichever you want to do. And well, Ann said, it's just extra work to pull the quarter round off and that costs more and it's a rental house. And I said, I'm fine with either. And well, then Paul sent me a text that yesterday afternoon again. It's like, although it's interesting, he called it corner round, not quarter
oh,
round, which it kind of is in the corner,
yeah. Yeah.
but it's a quarter
Quarter
round
of a
because it's a
circle.
quarter of a circle.
Right.
Anyway, but he said, just leave it. I said, well, that was the consensus we had too. So I'm sure that she's just been all these different communications going on.
Yeah. Ugh.
So I understand it. And, ultimately, you know, you're working for Bob.
Yeah.
So if, you've got to give him your recommendation.
Yeah. It's to me, it's not worth fighting Tracy over. I've got plenty of work to do.
Right.
He probably doesn't. He
Yeah.
probably has Bob and that's it.
And he may have Bob's I mean, I don't think he's probably doesn't have Bob's interest at heart. Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I think I know who you're talking about. I don't know that I've ever worked with him, know of him. And he's not like a out there doing a contractor kind of work
Contractor,
all the
yeah.
time.
Now, the thing that got me and how I played it was he changed the inside from I was going to wrap it in block because I've got to go up with block
Right?
to hold the backside of the chimney.
Right?
You've got to go block. Um, he changed it from block to framing, and he's going to bolt an angle iron up at the top for us to start the backside of our wall. I'm fine with that. As long as it's flat, he said, well, we can put it at an angle. And I'm like, up the gable. I'm like, how are you going to hold it? It's just going to fall off the ends.
Yeah, it's going to go.
Yeah. We're just going to unzip that chimney, So we're going flat. But like I told him, I said, we're here because it was framed inside and the framing rotted out. I said, if you can make damn sure that is watertight, I said, you do not have to worry about the flashing or the cap. That's on me. But if you can make sure everything through here is watertight, then fine, do your framing. But I wanted to get that on record
Right.
of,
Yeah.
look, Bob, this has to be done.
Yeah.
Because this is unforgiving. Block is forgiving if you get a little moisture on it. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a mess.
It is what we do. This is our life.
Yeah. The way like I was explaining yesterday to Dad and Darren, when they were asking about it, it's a mess, but it's not our mess. We're just, when they tell us to lay brick, we'll go lay brick.
Right. But we also don't want them to down the road go, well, that brick fell off and Wrights did it.
Right.
You know, I mean,
That's why I
this is
wanted
the
to get it
thing
with
where you've got
Bob.
to find that,
I
you
wanted to
know,
get my objection ahead of time with Bob.
right, right.
I want to get it noted. So
And if you're comfortable with doing it the way they're doing it, and you know, then
yeah, you know the risk. So
yeah. So anyway, well,
yep,
so yeah, you know, every one of us has a different opinion on stuff, and
mhm.
you know, it is we can only
And
do what we can do, and
I think that's natural for a frame carpenter to see how to fix everything with framing, and it's natural for a brick mason to see how to fix everything
yeah,
with block.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. I think so, and I think Bob just wants it
done.
done and wants it done well and wants it to be what Bob wants, and Bob's going to look at it from a, you know, a little bit of that imaginative
Yeah,
design. You know, I mean, he's going to see that vision in his head. How it gets there is irrelevant to him,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, you know, it's a tricky thing. So
It is. It is. It's and
anyway,
it can get kind of it can get a little frustrating dealing, kind of melding the personalities, but
yeah,
like,
but that's life.
I keep saying I don't have to meld with this guy. This guy can go do his thing.
Yeah,
If this is the way they want to do it, go do it that way. Call me when you're done.
yeah,
Get out of my
yeah,
road. I'll do my part,
yeah, yeah,
So
and it is. It's just that's life. We've got to, you know, we've got to work with, you
yeah.
know, our spouses don't always see eye to eye on everything.
What?
Yeah, I know it's crazy. So
So
I
she must have her headphones on. She hadn't been chiming
yeah,
over
she
my
does. I saw
shoulder.
it back there a while ago.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get on to. I've got to get a Sunday school post finished up and get it to Emily, and then I've got to get some work done on getting prepared for the. Because this time next week we're going to be going off into an introduction to a savings transfer,
There we go. Yeah.
and I'm gonna the. Have you listened to the last? I don't know how on my blog posts or read them.
I have. I read the one I read Sunday. I haven't it's on my list to listen to it. I like to read it on Sunday and
Yeah,
listen to it on Wednesday,
yeah,
but I haven't got to listen to it yet.
right,
So
right. But anyway, uh, last week I may have told you this. Nick that records the podcast for
yeah.
me, when he sent the email back a week ago Monday, he said, "I want to pass the hat for Gene." That was
Yeah.
in his email. And it's like I wait till this next week. It gets worse.
Hey, and it's happened to every single one of us.
It has.
That's the only way we learn the lesson.
And that's why I have a
Yeah.
savings transfer sheet.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
this week's will be a little bit more of a kind of introduction to the introduction kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And a little bit
I'm
more
ready
of
for him
the
to I'm ready for both me and Gene to have a run of good luck here. So
yeah, yeah. And there well and but just like that, there will be those, but it will never always be just good luck.
no, no.
And that's
And
part
how
of that.
boring would that be?
Well, and
You
that's
know?
part of where we get to that when we get to the realization that this is life. And if we take those lows in stride with the highs, it's a much more enjoyable life.
Yeah. You know, we're always going to be fighting battles. It's a heck of a lot better to be fighting the battle over here than it was when you was fighting it back here.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
And
that's
that's
it.
just like, you know, it's not to say that I don't always need more money, but it is to say that when I get in a pinch now, I've got money saved.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, I haven't
accountable.
got the income tax back from the accountant yet, so I don't know what that's going to be. But not only do I have money from Timber Creek saved, I've got money from the rental property saved,
Right.
and Debbie's got money saved. And so those three different incomes come together. We can take that from each of those, you know, perspectively, and um, and then write the check to the IRS that will be big, and I'll hate to write it. And
Yeah.
but the option is you don't write it, and someday they come take everything. So
Right. Right. So,
anyway, all right. Well, I
all
will
right.
see you this afternoon,
All right. Sounds good.
and we'll see if we can figure some more stuff out.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be 2, 3 problems down the road by then.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
We'll
we'll
talk
see you
to you
then.
later. Bye.